Hi there, welcome to Coffee Break Plans. This week I'm going to step you through prepping for my quarter three goals and projects for 2026. I will do a very quick recap of what I've done in the past. About this time last year, I set out my goals, and although I'd been doing some minor goals for a few years, I went right back to first principles for the 2025 goals. So, what I did is I listed out areas of my life that I decided I needed goals for, and then I refined it down to the main 10 that I needed them for. Then I formed a compelling sentence that encapsulated the goal. I analyze the priority status of each goal using the Eisenhower matrix, which I am not going to go into in detail here. In summary, they fall into four different quadrants, which is important and urgent, important but not urgent, not important but urgent, and not important and not urgent. And I prioritize all of my goals using that method. I then picked out the key goals and figured out a system of how I was going to do all the tasks. Then for each goal, I set out a whole pile of action steps and tasks under each action step. And I did that for all of the goals that I identified last year. But I realized very quickly, and you can see it here, that not all goals are alike. Some of them are ongoing. So your health, having good health means eating mostly well most of the time, getting good sleep, getting some exercise, taking care of your hydration and all the rest. You don't do those things once, then tick them off and declare yourself healthy. More's the pity. You have to do those things on a regular basis, every day, 3 times a week, 3 times a month, whatever it is. Now, these are habits, and in order to achieve and track them, the system you need to develop this is a habit tracker. So, in order to achieve things like health goals, or those ongoing goals where you have to do something over and over again, you set yourself up trackers. So, I set myself up some health trackers of any health things that I cannot control, and I also have myself set up the health things that I can control, whether or not I'm getting ready for bed early enough, whether I'm having my 12-hour fast, whether I'm moving each day, etc. So that's the kind of system you need for an ongoing habit. However, when it comes to projects, you have a series of tasks and you do each task once and then it's done. And then, of course, you have projects that have both. So last year, I took all my goals and I entered them all into some printable tables that I got off Etsy. These are from Analida Designs. And they have a whole set of all the time periods that you can measure them. So you have your yearly goals table, there's a 90-day goals table, there's a monthly goals, weekly goals, and your daily goals. And I used every single level to start with to see how it would go, and I adapted it as I went. And I did that, I think, I think only about August, September last year. So going into the last quarter of last year and the first quarter of this year, I was just writing things down on a blank piece of paper. I would transfer them over into my weekly dashboard layout. So I knew what I had to do each week, and then I would get whatever it was done that week, and then I'd go back into my goals tables and then I'd tick them off. But heading into March, I realized that that just wasn't quite working and I wanted to do something a little bit different. I also realized I needed a little bit of a revamp of my Franken planner, and I did do a video of that, which I will link either in the cards or at the end. So as you see, I have my goals section here, and I had all of my tables in here. I've obviously moved them all out now. And then I had what I still have labeled my creative section, but I will get around to labeling it my projects section. And I gave myself a series of dividers for each goal. So for example, my health goal has my sleep trackers in it. My goal for theatre has a task list of everything I need to do for the play that I'm directing at the end of the year. My home project has at the front the garden project. It has the actions and the task list of everything I need to do. So this is what I did in March, coming into this quarter that we're still in now. I'm filming this in May, so we're not quite at quarter three yet. So for each goal, and you'll see this here in the garden goal, I put in what the goal was. The actions I labeled chunks for whatever reason, and then for each chunk, I identified the tasks that were required to complete the chunk. So one was a general cleanup, and then I had sort out the hose, tidy the pots, blah, blah, blah. And I did that for each chunk. And then I put in when I needed to do these. By April, I needed to choose my crops. By mid-May, I had to clear out all the old crops and fill the soil, and then I needed to plant. If you go to my theatre, here are my chunks here, and then I broke them down into task lists, and then I identified, so I've got April here, May, June, and even into July. So we're heading into the next quarter. So for each month, I have them all summarized here, and I transfer them over into my weekly lists, and then I assign them to a particular day, and then I get them done or don't, as the case may be sometimes. And then I come back here and tick things off and then carry anything undone over to the following month. And now I did all that in quite a bit of a rush in March to get ready for Q2, and I couldn't afford to just let my goals slide because I have so much going on this year. Fortunately, it worked really well, and I'm still getting all the stuff done and on schedule for the most part. But for quarter 3 and quarter 4 this year, so that's for the rest of the year from June all the way through to December, they are going to be absolutely crazy, and I'm not going to have a lot of time to sit down at my desk and sort out what my goals are and what my tasks are and what my actions are. So I need to have this all sorted now. It's as simple as that. Now, I don't need to go back to first principles. However, what I do need to do is narrow down what I'm trying to get done each month and focus on what's important and urgent for the rest of this year. So I've picked 3 key areas to focus on: theatre, channel, and home. So my main goals or actions is to carry over any actions not finished in quarter 2, finalise all the prep for Clue, and then get ready for the show that I'm stage managing. My second goal is, of course, this channel. My actions are to film 14 videos and prep all the thumbnails, and to edit and load 1 video per fortnight and 2 per month. My goal 3 is garden/home, and I have my winter garden all planted. So I just have to weed and water, continue planting seeds, transferring them, harvesting anything. And I've also put down here to prep for summer, so tidy up all my flower pots, which are an absolute mess, and then choose my crops for summer. And then I've done a rough draft of my monthly goals for July, August, and September. I think they're here. Yeah, here we are, August and September. And I've broken all the goals down to when they're due. Then I've drafted up the monthly plan for each of these months, and I've broken the chunks down into the more detailed tasks assigned to each one. There is quite a lot of detail still missing, but I'm still in May at the moment, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to need to add here. I don't know how much is going to be carried over into Q3 at this stage. I have a whole month and a bit to go. But if I have it all mostly set out, it's easy enough to transfer that detail when I know it. So I'm coming up towards the end of May. I have a whole of June to go. Still got a heck of a lot of stuff to do in June. So I'm not certain exactly what needs to be carried over into this quarter yet, but I will know in about a month's time. So if I know roughly what the plan is, then I can fill the details in later on. So I'm going to transfer all these rough notes into an actual clear copy of the tables so I can put them into my Franken planner ready to go. So all my clear copies are done. I decided to do it in a bit of purple pen. So you have your overview for the quarter here, and then all of the actions for each month should add up to all of the actions here. And I'm ready to take out these sheets and to place them into my Franken planner ready to go. So I'm going to leave my May tasks in place and just pop them in behind here. I still have June to go. I will put any June tasks onto a plain piece of paper as I have been. This quarter 3 is now all set, ready to go. So the quarter summarized on this page here, and the 3 months following in here. A little bit of detail missing from each of them, which will be filled in as I get closer and I know which things I need to carry over and what videos I'm doing, etc. So that's it for this time. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next time.